So here we are again. I'm Jacquie from Absolute Corporate Events and Absolute Digital Communications. And I'm here today speaking to a very long-standing friend, Ru.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just reminded me that we met each other at Simpsons on the Strand in 1997 when he was working for the Savoy Group. So
Yeah.
a few years ago, Ru, a few years ago.
Yeah, a couple.
We're looking good for it. But Real Connection was one of South Africa because Rupert was born in Zimbabwe, and I have a special place in my heart for Africa generally. And I spent the year 2000 on Lake Kariba for Christmas and New Year. I know.
Amazing.
And the lions.
And the crocodiles.
So there on in, we knew each other then. You went to RuCo Hotels.
Yeah, after Savoy I did. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and worked for probably the best hotelier ever, Sir Rocco.
Totally, without doubt.
And then you went on to work for leading hotels of the world.
Yeah.
So,
I was for 5 years, 5 glorious years.
5 glorious years. So you've always represented luxury hotels. So I've had the pleasure of working with you, with my clients, and been to many of your shows, etc. But a couple of years ago, you launched your own company. So tell us about that.
I did. Well, yeah, I got to the point where I was approaching a certain age. And I've actually been thinking about doing this for quite some time, actually, since right before the financial crisis, 2009-10. And something then, gut instinct was telling me it's not the right time, it's not the right time, it's not the right time. And thank God I didn't, obviously, for obvious reasons. But then it came back about 3.5 years ago. And I was like, okay, I'm approaching this age. I want to do something on my own. What could I do? How could it work? Blah, blah, blah. So I started in October 2018, officially announced the company then, called Ru&Co Ltd. So yeah, it's Ru, me, and associate partners that are part of the business. So that was a lot of work, sort of October through to December, but I was determined to have it done, ready for January. So when January came, we hit the ground running, and oh my goodness, did we hit the ground running? Yeah, we did. It was fantastic. And I'm very fortunate to have around me a network of partners that are amazingly skilled. I have marketing, I have social media, I have Racine Betteridge, who some of you may know. If you're in EC, you'll remember her. So she's with me. And yeah, we kind of just started, and it's been an incredible ride so far. This year, slightly clouded, of course. But no, it's been amazing, and we're global. I didn't think we would be when we started. I thought it would be very much European hotels to start with, and it ended up being European and Johannesburg, you've mentioned, and the US. So yeah, so we're great and growing. Amazing. Yeah, which is fabulous. So we'll come on to that later on, sure. But yeah, that's a little bit of a nutshell about who we are and what we are.
So tell us a bit about the hotels in UK and Europe.
So we currently have 3 open hotels and 1 soon to come. Olga Polizzi, Sir Rocco's sister, so she does all the interior design and all the conceptual work for the RuCo hotels. So anybody who's stayed in any one of them will know what she's all about and her standards. Yeah. So, but she has and has always had, actually, ever since I've known her, 2 hotels of her own. So privately owned. They sit apart from RuCo, so they're not branded in any way to RuCo. And one's in Devon and one's in Cornwall. Cornwall was the first one, and it's called Hotel Trizantin. It's just incredible. It's beautiful. It's 5 beach cottages built into the cliffs of St. Mawes, which have all been kind of joined up to create this hotel. She actually has her own beach cottage 2 doors down, basically. As you do. And Alex, her daughter, also has, and her other daughter also has property there. So it's a very, very family kind of orientated connection to St. Mawes. And she created Trizantin, which is just the most breathtakingly beautiful hotel. It sits, as I said, in the cliffs. All the hotel rooms have been designed and built so they look out onto the bay and onto the lighthouse. A few years ago, it's right on the road, it's right on the street. Lots of steps. So if you don't do steps, it's not a good place to go. That's one thing to mention. Loads and loads of steps, but they've bought then across the road from directly in front of the hotel another section of land and gardens, which they've turned into like I want to say a roof terrace, but a terrace, basically a beach club. So they've got this very cool outdoor space that they can use. They also have the most amazing 1930s sailing yacht, which was the Italian sailing yacht for the round the world race, I think in the 1930s sometime. So you can rent that out for the day and go out sailing, and it's just breathtaking. Of course, the design is
exceptional. Yeah.
Absolutely exceptional. So that was the first one that she had, and then she had always had a passion for Ensley, and Ensley is in Devon, so it's about a 45-minute drive away from Tresanton, and maybe a little bit more, but it's the Duke of Bedford's old hunting lodge, and it's a 19-bedroom and suite house, if you like, which is operated as a hotel. It's a typical country house, looks very Scottish, as I said, as you arrive, but then you walk in and it's very country house, lots of little nooks and crannies, lots of little lounges, magnificent restaurant, terraces. The stable block they have converted into suites and meeting space. So again, you've got event space there if you want it. They have the grounds, so you can use the grounds and put marquees up for weddings and events and that kind of thing. They do, they do all the shooting, the fishing, all those kind of country pursuit stuff. So gorgeous. And then the third one, which is new and opens early next year, we think about March time, is called the Star. It's in Alfriston, which is in East Sussex. It's literally stone's throw from Glyndebourne. This village is quintessential English village. You couldn't get any better if you tried. So the actual inn itself, which is the old part of the building, is the suites, the restaurant, the bar, the event space, and then it connects through to an indoor courtyard garden area that they're creating, and then to this monstrosity which is being completely redone, and that's hopefully going to open March time.
And we're going to visit,
I think it's going to be about 32 bedrooms. Sorry, say again.
We're going to visit it together.
Are we going soon? Absolutely, as soon as possible. And then the newest baby, which hot off the press, which I'm sure many people have seen on social media and in the press, is the Nobu Hotel Portman Square.
Yeah.
Which is the newest Nobu in the franchise. It is magnificent. Again, another hotel that has been transformed into this new product. 249 bedrooms and suites. Super typical Nobu. The largest Nobu restaurant, I think, in the franchise. I've heard that that's true. I'm not quite sure yet if that is the actuality, but super funky, super cool, right on Portman Square, slap bang in the middle of Marylebone.
Yeah.
When the meeting space is slightly delayed, so the meeting space will be one of the largest ballrooms in London, plus some additional meeting rooms, and they will be available again from March. So hold fire on that one. But yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I think the location of that hotel is amazing.
Yeah, it's lovely.
But let's just touch on maybe a couple in Europe. I
Yeah.
think probably Madeira for me is quite exciting as a new destination.
Yeah.
And a newly opened one in Florence.
Absolutely.
So, so maybe just update us on those two, because I think these will be of interest to the corporates.
Okay. So I will do. So Madeira, firstly, in Portugal. So the island of Madeira, if you haven't been, is kind of the southernmost part of the Canaries. And the Savoy Palace is one of the two, soon to be three, hotels that I look after on the island. The Savoy Palace was an iconic hotel in Madeira, and anybody who's been there over the years knows Reed's Palace.
Yes, I know.
We love, and the Savoy, and those are the two that everybody knew about. That's where you went for your weddings, your christenings, all of that stuff. It's stunning. It sits on top of a hill, looking down onto the ocean. All the rooms, every single one of them, have balconies overlooking the sea. Not one has a bad view. The entry-level rooms start from 45 square meters. They're super modern. I think you've seen pictures from with Dawn, and they're just breathtaking. The Savoy Palace is there, just over 300 bedrooms, huge ballrooms, lots of meeting rooms, a lot of outdoor gardens. And then next to it, just below it, because it sits on top of a hill, and there's a road, that a quiet kind of shopping road, which they're going to turn into like boutique shops. There's a bridge which connects to the Royal Savoy, which is one of their other hotels, which has beach access, and it has stunning gardens. So they shut the Royal Savoy again at the beginning of COVID, but the gardens and the pool and the ocean area has all been completely re-landscaped. And then in between those two is a very cool concept called Next, which is going to arrive early next year as well, which I will be looking after in the new year. Designed very much for the 20-year-old, 30-year-old. So super cool, W-esque type. That's closer to the styling it's going to be. So Next is coming soon. And then 45 minutes down the road is a little fishing village called Caleta, and they have Sakharam is there. And this, from the outside, it looks like a 70s hotel building, but it used to be a sugarcane refinery. So it's got that factory feel to it and that industrial feel. And they've created this incredible hotel there. It's super modern, super design. It should be part of a certain affiliation that is very design orientated. But there's a 3,500 square meter spa there, and it is a complete getaway. They have created a beach there, and it is a homemade beach, but there is a beach and there's a beach club. They have 4 swimming pools, one of which is an infinity pool. The sunsets from the roof are just insane. Beautiful food. And from there, if anybody wants to go out onto the ocean, to go out yachting, boating, fishing, whale watching, because whales swim past from September time until about February. Perfect place to go. So that's Madeira, year round. I would strongly and highly recommend it. It was a real surprise for me because I had never been there before either. And then across in Europe, my favorite one is the Brunelleschi Hotel in Florence. And this is just beautiful. It's right in the middle of Florence. It's right behind the Piazza della Repubblica on a very quiet and very narrow road. Tucked away, so it's super quiet, with a beautiful courtyard at the front and cobbled driveway to the entrance. But it's a Byzantine church, and next to the church is a tower, a brick tower, and that and the Byzantine church have been joined together to create Brunelleschi Hotel, which is stunning. So it was a 4-star hotel, and their website still says it's 4, but it's actually just repositioned itself as of February this year, when they completed their refurbishment. So it's now a luxury boutique hotel, 96 bedrooms and suites, 2 restaurants, one of which has just been awarded its 2nd Michelin star. So even if you're staying somewhere else in Florence, you have to go to this hotel. It's stunning. So they've done a full refurbishment of it, and rooms, public spaces. They've got a 2nd restaurant, which is more Tuscan, just normal food, not fine dining. They got a bar. They have a small gym. But it's literally 250 meters away from the Duomo, and a lot of the executive rooms and their suites look straight out onto that very famous dome that everybody sees when you're looking at pictures of Florence. So there's that's just joined. And then up the road, in terms of new destinations, is the Dolomite Mountains. And the Dolomites are not very well known by the UK. And skiing, and it's one of the most beautiful places. But again, it's a year-round destination. And Agostina is a DMC there, and she knows everybody. She's been there over 20 years. She's Argentinian, but she's been there 25 years. She's married to an Italian guy, and she runs an outfit called Dolomite Mountains, and they organize everything that you would want. So anybody wanting in the winter, wanting sledging, snow walking, skiing, of course, any of that winter sports stuff, it's a lovely place to go and to try if you've done all the usuals, to go to Dolomites. But in the summertime, for incentives particularly, hiking, rock climbing, all those electric bikes, all of that kind of stuff is all there. I mean, her website, when you look at it, is just the choice of what you can do there is insane. So again, a new in inverted commas
Yeah.
destination. Yeah.
Yes. Now,
Yeah.
just I thought it'd be useful for any agents watching,
Yeah.
because a lot of us have been through a tough time on the venue find side.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've been busy on the virtual production and hybrid side. That's
Yeah.
kept us very busy. But for those that have been doing venue find, obviously, it's been a challenging time for everybody.
Yeah.
And you've got an offer. So all agents out there, ears up.
Ears up. So I've been thinking about this actually for, I think I mentioned it to you
Yeah.
about 4 or 5 months ago. It's quite a long time ago, and approached the hotels at that time. And I very much, having spoken to you and many other agencies in the market, obviously a lot of your income, if not all of it, for some is commission based. And I was like, what can we as Ru&Co do to help and to show our support for the industry? And the idea that I came up with is all based around commissions. And so what we are now able to do with most of the Ru&Co Hotels is that once a group contract has been signed at any one of the properties, we will pay the commission due to the agency according to the deposit schedule. So in a nutshell, that's what it is. So you're getting, or the agency will get their commissions staggered payments, but the biggest part of that is it will be in advance of the event. So that's going to hopefully help cash flow and hopefully help things in the interim process until live events are back. It also would hopefully make my hotels more attractive to the market. And if there are any big events that are looking to postpone or looking to move or looking to change, if they haven't already done that, which a lot have, but maybe this is an option which would be more attractive, because then that agency will be getting that payment as soon as the contract is signed. So our typical contract terms are 25% on signature of the contract based on the room's revenue. And then it's staggered according to the lead time. But full prepayment is 30 days out, which is pretty standard, I think. So if in effect, you'll be getting your room's revenue commission upfront 30 days prior to arrival. Should that event, for whatever reason, cancel, then that calculation needs to happen with each. And this is why it's not been a blanket communication. It's very much been given and offered to close partnerships that we have with the agency world. So it's there, and it's available. I didn't want to make a big announcement about it online or on social media or anything like that, because it's, best kept secrets. Yeah. So anyway, whatever, it's at the end of the thing, it's fine. But now's the time. And it doesn't matter. I didn't want it to happen early on, but now is the time when people are starting to plan again. I've had some inquiries this week. So things are starting, as you said, green shoots are starting to come through, and now we're able to offer that to any inquiries that come through, and particularly the bigger hotels that that do rely on the conference and events business.
Yeah. And the agents have worked really, really hard over the last 12
Yeah.
months. They've had to reach out to all their connections, get
Yeah.
moved, cancelled, rebooked, look for new venues, and very often for very little revenue this year. And
Yeah.
they play such a vital part in the
Mm.
corporate world, especially with their knowledge, experience, and the ability to negotiate on contracts. And I think contracts are going to be a big
Absolutely.
discussion point next year.
In the meantime, there will be something that we'll be talking about in the next 2 to 3 weeks, but hopefully before Christmas, will be a new package of offerings that we'll be able to offer agencies and corporates alike, as an alternative to live events, to yeah, to offer us something a little bit different. So we'll be coming back to you with that soon.
Yes, I think we've discussed it a little bit, but
We
yeah,
have. I didn't
interesting.
want to give too much away.
No, just got to keep some things up our sleeve. I've already given a bit away that wasn't supposed to. But no, I mean, I think we're all speaking about contracts, flexibility, and also the
Yeah,
ability to switch and do hybrid events and have
yeah,
the IT in-house. I mean, I've had many discussions with many of the groups, as you know.
yeah,
We've talked
yeah,
at length about the flexibility
yeah.
and it's the personal service, isn't it? Which we all.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, Mr. Rupert, I hope to see you soon.
You will indeed. At
Visiting
Nobu, London, Portman Square.
you and Sam. I'll be there.
It's a date.
Yeah, we'll make a date. I look
Good.
forward to it. Congratulations on your new opening.
Thank you.
Lovely to speak to you as always.
You as well. I will speak to you soon.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.